Welcome back to CryptosRUs. I am George. We're all George. So happy Friday. Today, we have Bitcoin flashing a huge buy signal unseen since 2015. Also, the EU just gave a huge boost to Tesla and electric vehicles. They are demanding that ICE vehicles be retired by 2035. What is this all about? Let's talk about these things and more. So let's get started. And by the way, the bell just rung. It's working nicely. And I swear I have not replaced the batteries on these, and they just keep working. It just keeps working. All right. So let's start out with big inflation data that could help drive markets up today. Okay? We have PCE data came out today. There's two measures, two things that measure inflation really that's used by almost everyone, CPI and PCE. PCE is what the Fed prefers. And we actually got some good news. Inflation came in at the same expected level that most predicted. So that's good. It didn't go above. It was 0.5% in September. But overall, and that's core inflation, but overall, PCE inflation has actually gone down, which means in September, okay, overall inflation actually slowed down, came down slightly, but core inflation was still rising, but didn't rise more than expectations, okay? So that's positive. That's as positive as it can be. So overall, I think this is still being digested by Wall Street right now. The markets could certainly turn green today. NASDAQ has been so sold recently, so maybe this will help investors come back into tech and NASDAQ. But right now, Bitcoin is seeing a little effect by this. Bitcoin is back up to 20,400. So this is pretty positive. We'll keep an eye on what happens later today. But big buy signal just flash. Well, there's a lot of these signals all the time, but some measure Bitcoin on a macro scale over years upon years upon years, not just short term, long term. And this oscillator, Murray's math, is showing buy, and it hasn't shown buy since 2015. Okay? And what happened in 2015? Bitcoin went up nearly 10,000%. Last time this oscillator flashed buy. Basically, it's just showing Bitcoin was very oversold. And that is the perfect time to be buying. And right now, that's what it's flashing. Can Bitcoin start rallying here and go up 10,000% over the next 2 years? Hey, if you look at it from a long-term perspective, yes, it could certainly happen. Short-term, probably not. But long-term, yes, right? So this is pretty positive for Bitcoin. And of course, there are other reasons to be bullish and positive about Bitcoin. I mean, here's one. If you just want to just zoom out and just take a look, yes, you could only focus on the downs, right? If the bears and Peter Schiffs of the world had control, they would only make you focus on the negative 94%, negative 86%, negative 84%, negative 74%. But what they don't want you to focus on is what happens after those drops. Bitcoin goes on 10,000%, 5,000%, thousands of percents afterwards, right? This is why you have to withstand some of these volatility and some of these corrections, because you get rewarded handsomely afterwards, right? And every single cycle we have, yes, it goes up a little bit less. And also the good thing is the downward pressure also goes down a little bit less. So it makes sense that the discount, the drop from peak is less and less every cycle as Bitcoin gets bigger and there's more maturity. And of course, there's more holders in this space, right? So makes a lot of sense. These are all positive things. Now, what else is going on today? Well, the other big thing is the fact that we're seeing this. EU, European Union, their council and parliament came to a provisional agreement to ban the sale of new diesel and gasoline cars. So from 2035, like right now to me, seems like, oh man, that's so far ahead. We don't have to worry about 2035. But the reality is we're heading into 2023. We're talking about only 12 years. And cars usually, you know, the car cycle is usually about 4 to 5 years. So we're talking about two more cycles for cars. The third cycle after that, they will all have to be EV in Europe. And the best company that's positioned for this is, of course, Tesla. Mercedes, Audi, VW, everyone, Porsche. I mean, they have some EV cars, but there's nowhere close. Nowhere close. And let's not forget about the infrastructure, the power grids, and everything else that's going on. You know, it's just no one can really make that drastic of a change other than if you're already pure EV manufacturer like Tesla. So this is going to help tremendously, okay? Now, before I heard it was just UK 2035. This is supposed to be all of EU. So, wow. Just came out of nowhere. But the EU is not just going to let Elon Musk dominate the world. They also warns Musk that he'll have to fly by rules as he buys Twitter. I don't know what that actually means, but I'm guessing they want to implement a lot of strict rules for what Elon could do and cannot do with Twitter in the EU. I don't think Elon really cares, to be honest. I mean, if somehow EU bans Twitter, he's like, whatever. I don't think they can anyways. I don't even think it's in their jurisdiction. I don't know, maybe, whatever. But I just thought this was kind of funny. And I couldn't get over the fact that I saw this picture right here. And it's just freaking hilarious. Just really hilarious. And also what's hilarious is the day before Elon brought in all these Tesla engineers to the Twitter office to review code. What they did was to lock all the devs and said, hey, your services are no longer needed, and they kicked them all out. That's really what happened. CZ also says, hey, we wired a $500 million 2 days ago. We wired it. I don't know why he has to make it so public, but just imagine the ability to wire $500 million. Hopefully one day I can experience that, but that's a lot of money. But here's the thing. If you do want to transfer $500 million and you're wiring it through a bank, think about how many hoops you have to jump through. How many in-between guys that will question you, why are you wiring this much? Okay? Your bank, their bank, countries, the FBI, whoever, everyone is going to get involved. But if you're sending someone $500 million worth of Bitcoin, boom, it's there in the same amount of time as if you sent $10 worth of Bitcoin. No one will question you and no one is going to stop you, right? That is why Bitcoin and a decentralized network is awesome. I can't even imagine the hoops you have to jump through to be able to wire $500 million. It would be insane. Insane. All right. What else is there? What else is going on? Well, I did notice this huge, massive exodus of Bitcoin from Binance. We're talking about over $1.1 billion. This happened within the last few days. Massive amount. Now, I don't think it's Binance selling off $500 million worth of Bitcoin to pay for Elon. So this is completely different. But I did notice there are definitely a lot of huge whales buying right now with all these indicators, models, oscillators, and world events going on, there are a lot that are paying attention saying, hey, this is a great time to be buying Bitcoin, and that is exactly what they're doing. This is $1.1 billion worth, 55,732 Bitcoins left Binance over the last few days. Just think about that. All right, what else is going on today? I did see Cardano. Cardano is getting ready to release details on their new layer 2 scaling solution called Hydra. This has been very hyped up for quite some time. And this will basically make Cardano scale infinitely and bring on multi-chains. A lot of other projects already have this, like, multiple chains working together, and basically you can scale infinitely, and that is what Hydra is all about. So this is quite exciting, really exciting for Cardano. And then what else is going on? I think that's pretty much it. Look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin is still going up and up and up and up. Probably helped today by the PC inflation report. But the big thing that everyone's waiting for is next week on Wednesday. We will get that press conference from the FOMC governors. I take that back. We will get a press conference from Jerome Powell, and he will state what the FOMC board governors decided behind closed doors. Will he be more dovish or hawkish? Probably dovish. It's looking like that, but who knows? Maybe he throws a wrench in things. But if he doesn't, and he becomes dovish, and we get a 0.5 increase or 50 basis point increase instead of a 75 basis increase, that will be absolutely fantastic for markets. Absolutely fantastic for markets. All right, the last thing I want to show you, a couple things. It has really nothing to do with anything, but I found these things interesting. Number one is all the oil companies are making crazy amounts of money right now. Chevron's 11.2 billion quarterly profit. It's huge. Not just them, Exxon, and everyone else, all the oil companies, right? So it makes me wonder, we hear about, of course, rising energy costs, right? Supply chain issues, the war, all these things are affecting oil production, oil prices, all sky high, right? So is that really the case, or are the oil companies just marking up the prices? So, if oil was scarce, and it's just being passed on to the consumers because simply they can't produce enough, then their profits shouldn't be skyrocketing right now. But they're all skyrocketing, which makes me think they're kind of doing it on purpose. They have plenty of oil, to sell, but they're just taking advantage of the situation and say, okay, since it seems like everyone is worried about the war and everything, let's just jack up the price. To me, that's what it sounds like. Otherwise, why would they be making all these record profits for their quarters, right? I don't know. Someone needs to look into that. And lastly, this is not a good thing. Not a good thing at all, but I did see this, that Nancy Pelosi's husband was violently assaulted this morning at their home. They broke in, he assaulted him, and they arrested him. I have no idea why. If it's due to politics or due to maybe they getting sick of him making hundreds of millions of dollars based on insider trading, I don't know, or it's a random occurrence. I have no idea, but it's not a good thing. So, but I saw this as breaking news as well. All right, guys. Overall market is doing better today, closing in at 1 trillion once again. Unfortunately, we fell below. Let's see if we can get above and stay above for this weekend, moving into next week. All right, let's do some Q&A. Jeff. Bradenton, Florida construction site appreciates your educational videos. I appreciate that. I don't know if you're referring to the educational video or my streams overall. Either way, I appreciate it. The targeted rate is 75 basis points for November 2nd. So as long as we get 50, anything under, I mean, the market wouldn't know what to do with itself if Powell said, hey, we're just going to halt rate hikes for this month. I mean, we would get like plus 5,000 points on NASDAQ if that happened. But that won't happen. But I think he may be a little bit dovish and go 50 basis points. Why don't we hear about Jack Dorsey anymore? Because he wants it that way. He doesn't really want to be in the public eye anymore. He wants nothing to do with Twitter. And he just, supposedly he's working on a lot of cool Bitcoin stuff with Block. Well, someone asked, whatever happened to hydrogen cars? Toyota's not giving up. Toyota says they're still working on hydrogen cars, but I don't think anyone really wants them. Have you seen a hydrogen car blow up? I mean, it's very violent. And it has happened, and something that you don't want to experience if you're in the car. Rover, man, I don't have any insight about it. I saw your ether locked up. Hey, sometimes that's a good thing, man. Sometimes that's a good thing. You may think that you want to day trade it, you want to switch it out for something, but sometimes the best thing to do is just to keep it there. The next upgrade is going to be anywhere from 6 to 12 months, and it could be even longer than that, so you'll have to wait. What do you think about USA running out of diesel in 25 days? Experts say not a good look this winter. I don't know what to think about that. I don't know if that's true or not. The U.S. politicians, news tend to exaggerate. Like, okay, you know, like whenever there's the debt ceiling, whenever we get close to it, and then there's headlines like, oh, you know, if they don't raise the debt ceiling, Congress and everyone will shut down, and you know, the U.S. will be done. And every single time we see, okay, the debt ceiling gets raised and life goes on like nothing has ever happened, right? With this diesel thing, also, I don't know. The U.S. has plenty of oil, more oil than probably most countries out there. I think we can solve diesel. I don't think there's a big issue. All these oil companies are recording record profits. So why are they not producing diesel? I don't know the logistics of it, but it just seems to me that it should be a non-issue. Teslas catch fire. Yes, anything electric catches fire, but you have a chance to get out. You know, with a hydrogen car blowing up, you don't have a chance. It just blows up. With the EV car, at least you can try to get out. Zero Fortune, I appreciate it. Bronco is awesome. Awesome SUV. Badlands Edition, I can't keep up with all the editions. But you got to get the Sasquatch package, and if you like driving, get a manual. You can still get a manual. The Bronco is probably extremely hard to find. Broncos themselves are hard to find, but getting a manual or a Sasquatch, take off the top, that's living. What do you think about the new Audi Q3s? The old Q3 I thought was good. I don't know if they refresh. Yeah, I think they did refresh it. I haven't tested a new one, but old Q3 is good, but it's small, very very small. Q5 was an excellent SUV, and it still is, and it's decently sized. So for me, I would, if you have family, you got to go at least Q5 up. Q3 is a nice little SUV, but it is small. I I tried to make more jokes with that Bronco Raptor video. There was one very controversial joke that people pinpointed. I don't know if it's gonna get that video demonetized or me in trouble. Hopefully not. I hope people can tell when I'm joking. Do you want the Phillies to win World Series? I honestly could care less. No, it's the Q8, man. Galen, is Q8 and Urus are the same platform. Same thing with the Atlas Cross. The Atlas Cross Track for VW, they're all the same platform. So you could get an Atlas and save a whole bunch of money, but it's slow. They don't have much engine options. The Q8, you could get a RSQ8. That's pretty darn fast, but it's Audi still. Jan, I can't answer that. Some people are just built tough. Some people are built fragile. That's it. Do you think season 2 of House of Dragon will be good? I don't know. I hate huge cliffhangers like that, and honestly, who bullies each other with dragons? I just think it's like, of course, and the guy, I forgot his name, but the guy who plays the brother, I think he's supposed to be the older brother, but whatever. The guy with the eye patch, he looks older than the mother. So they casted horribly wrong. Okay, he's supposed to be like what, an 18-year-old or something, a 20-year-old, but he looks older than the mother. So I mean, yeah, I don't know what they were thinking with, first of all, casting him. He just looks way too old. And second of all, whatever he did, I'm not trying to spoil it for people that haven't watched it, but like, what did you expect? You're on a freaking huge dragon. What do you expect was going to happen? Do Kwon is in Colombia. I don't know about that. Maybe you have inside information. So am I bullish here or bearish here? I'm bullish. I'm never bearish. Short term, maybe sometimes I'm bearish, but I'm more bullish now than ever. Someone asked about the buy signal. This is it. Murray's math oscillator hasn't flashed buy since 2015, and Bitcoin went on a 10,000% run afterwards over a course of a few years, obviously. Not right away, but a few years. 10,000% from here would put us right at 200,000. Right? That's about right. No, yeah. No, it would put us at like 2 million. But I don't think that's going to happen. But maybe 200,000. Maybe we'll see. We'll see. Right now, it's a really iffy time with all the macro stuff going on. Inflation is still not resolved and stuff like that. But Bitcoin is strong, that's for sure. My diet is going really well. So far, so good. Luckily, since I'm on intermittent fasting, I don't have to eat a lot. I only eat 2 meals, so I don't have to worry about 2 meals. And quite frankly, I'm so busy in between. I don't even have chances to eat snacks or anything. But so far, so good. My energy level is still the same. Still working out, and yeah, the fat is dropping off right now. So that's also good. Can Doge become the third highest market cap now? You know what? At one point in time, I would say no, zero chance. Don't even think about it. But with Elon taking over Twitter, whatever his ambitions are with Twitter, and if he truly like integrates Doge in a big way, who knows? Who knows? Can Doge jump from 11 billion to 70 billion, 7x from here? I wouldn't put it out of the realm of possibility. I'm gonna put it in the realm of possibility, off chance, but hey, depending on what he does, maybe it'll happen. Forget about math oscillator. Fire up your cosmic astrology chart. Let's see. You know, we did pass something very bullish recently. Let's take a look at it. The autumn equinox. I've shown you guys this. The start of fall. The previous years after we passed autumn equinox, we had tremendous upsides. In 2021 and 2020, we just went parabolically up. So we did just pass that recently, last month. So that's pretty good. What is this? I don't know what that is. But the next big one is the winter solstice. And I don't know what happened after last winter solstice. Here's the last one. Bitcoin was on a decline again. So winter solstice in 2021 was not good. In 2020, it was still good on the uprise. So that's a little conflicting. But autumn, you can see went up. Autumn went up. Autumn equinox is usually pretty bullish, according to this, according to history. And plus, what's bullish is Bitcoin breaking out of this down trend line, right? And that's very bullish too. The fact that someone created indicators showing the full moon tells you how many people actually use it. What altcoins are must have in my portfolio right now, outside of Ethereum, I would say Polygon is definitely one. I also like Cosmos a lot. I think Cosmos and Polygon are must-have altcoins right now, even though they're big, but they're must-have. But a lot of the other ones I've mentioned, the same thing. Cardano, Solana, Polkadot, these all big ones. Why would you not have them, right? Like, You know they're doing stuff. You know that they're still growing. They're not giving up. They're still growing their ecosystem. And the same thing with some of the other L1s like Algorand, Near, like VeChain, even Phantom. Like, they're doing things. The market will come back, right? Why would you not hold on to them and buy them while they're low? Kind of like the DCA portfolio that I show you guys on Wednesday night, right? I have a mix. I think it's good to be diversified, but go heavy in the ones that you truly believe in, the ones that you think has the most upside, right? With the lowest amount of risk. Who broke off into Pelosi's house? I have no idea. He's 82 years old, so hopefully he's okay. I started looking at my pictures from like 10 years ago. You know how I always make fun of, like, I don't make fun of, I pinpoint the fact that Charles Hoskinson looks 50s, but he's only 34. So I started looking at some of my pictures when I was 34. I looked like I was like barely 21. That's why I was carded left and right in my 30s. And then I aged horribly towards the latter half of my 30s and beyond. So I've aged like 20 years and 10 years. And that sucks. But man, I was looking young when I was in my 30s. Just, I don't know if you guys care about that, but just observation. Like, you'll see, if you're curious, go look at my video, the carnivore diet video I have on I Am George. I put a couple of pictures of me when I was at my slimmest, around 170s. And I think people looking at it will think, oh, those are like right out of college or something. No, that was when I was in my 30s already. So, and I looked like a baby then. I'm 29. I get asked for ID all the time. That's good. I used to get so annoyed by it. And now I get everyone left and right calling me sir. It's a very different thing. Wow. Well, I'm glad some of you guys, I don't know if you're pretending or trying to make me feel good, thinking that I don't look like I'm even past 30. I appreciate that. Yeah, since I've been on a carnivore diet, no drinks, no booze, nothing. Only coffee and water and tea. I had a little bit of tea, but unsweetened, nothing. I just cut all that out. The biggest the biggest craving I have is just to have a Diet Coke. I really want to have Diet Coke, and I'm like, no, I need to get off of it. I've been drinking Diet Coke for 20 plus years, and I know it's not healthy. It'll probably lead to cancer or something. So I'm like, okay, this is a good opportunity to try to stop. So that's my biggest craving. It's like, I just want to drink Diet Coke. That's how addicted it is. You don't even realize it. For all these things that we've been eating for a long time, you don't realize you're addicted to it until you just like cut it cold turkey. Then you realize, wow, you're really addicted. Like anything sweet, just want something sweet. Yeah, once you get to a point where people like the young guys out there at a grocery store or wherever in restaurants, they start calling you sir, that's when it hits you. Yeah, you're not as young as you think anymore. I don't have any headaches anymore. Yeah, I'll mention some of these things in my next video, and also some of the vitamins I'm taking to make sure I'm not malnutrition. Malnutritious. I don't know how to say that word. But yeah, the next one will be interesting, and weigh-in too. You know, everyone says try Zevia, Shannon, but I don't want to get addicted to another sweetener. You know, it's still gonna keep me wanting sweets, so I'm cutting Zevia out. I'm cutting everything that's sugary out for a month, and let's see what happens. If it can cure me, my biggest Achilles heel has always been sugar. Like, even on my previous diets, you know, I would dab a little bit into sugar, and yeah. All right, man. Man and womans. Today's looking pretty good. Stock market's up. PCE shows inflation has tapered out. Home sales fell 10% in September, much worse than expected. You know, so we have a lot. We have a lot to look forward to next week. Powell has a lot of thinking ahead because we get a lot of softening numbers like this. So is he going to continue his course of, you know, the rate hikes, or is he going to come down a little bit? I guess we'll just have to wait and see. But today's a good day. Let's see if we can build into the weekend and then carry forward into next week. All right, but happy Friday. I won't be streaming tonight. I'll see you guys tomorrow, 11:30 a.m. Not 8:30, 11:30 a.m. And we'll take a look. All right? Smash up the like, subscribe to the channel, and make sure you check out my other channels as well, Drivers Only and I Am George. More content coming this weekend. Have a good one, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.